If people have been identified as having a life-limiting illness, for example, the question, that surprise question has been asked, would you be surprised if this person died in the next 12 months? And if the answer is, no, I wouldn't be surprised, then that's really a trigger to say, well, look, let's have some conversations about the type of care you would want to have in the future. If goals of care are established early in someone's illness, then the whole goal of care is much clearer.
When we say we should take a person-centred approach to planning end-of-life care, a big part of that is not just who that person is, but what culture, what values, what spiritual concerns they may have. It's all about knowing the person and the person in the context that matters to them, knowing what's important to them. I think it's sometimes a challenge for many of our healthcare providers who come from more or less a kind of common part, a common stream of society in terms of their educational opportunities, experiences where they've grown up, to stop for a moment and reflect on what they take as normal and to be expected might in fact not be what this person wants at all, may not be the most important thing to them.
I guess the biggest difference is with us is that we have, family and cousins by the dozens, so they say, and we really do. And they're all important, and it's important that they're all included. It's not just the patient, you're dealing with the whole family. It's what everybody wants, it's not just one person. I guess that's the biggest difference in our culture,
It's critical when local health districts are looking at how they provide palliative and end-of-life care for the citizens in their jurisdictions, to stop and consider always the patient's journey, to take a patient-centred approach, to consider how is it for this person as they come into this location, how is it for this person as they move from that place to that place, how well are our services coordinated, who is taking the responsibility for ensuring a continuum of quality care.
Patients' needs can change every time that you see them, and same with family needs. So every time we meet with a patient, we'll do an assessment, whether it be in the hospital or the community or an aged care facility. Those assessments cover a whole range of things, from symptoms, and we usually try and get patients to give us some indication around each symptom, how they're managing it themselves, so get it directly from the patient. Or if they can't answer, then their carer, because they've got much better insight than the health professional does. We also try and get a psychosocial assessment, so how are things going at home, or how is their carer managing the really basic things around the patient, their activities of daily living. How is that changing? Small, apparently simple things can make a big difference to where a person can be cared for. So level of function is a really important assessment that you kind of drill down on every time you see someone. Can they get to the bathroom? Can they get to the kitchen? If they can't, what's the meaning around that? Where can their care be best managed? You assess it each time you come into contact with that patient and family. And that way you can tailor the care, the services to that person at that particular point in their illness trajectory. Another thing that can be identified earlier on when people have said, this is how I want my care to progress, is obviously avoids unwanted hospital admissions, potentially then results in more efficient use of the healthcare system. We know there are limited resources. If people are having conversations and saying this is the type of care I want, then you are potentially managing the health system in a more efficient way.
We absolutely underestimate what the community is capable of around end-of-life care. And I really think health professionals need to get out of the way more than they do at the moment. Dying is a social event, and on the outer we can provide support in the cracks, support in the places that communities and families need us to support. We need to stay out of the way. We're not as important as we think we are in end-of-life care. Yes, we need to provide symptom care and pain management and all those amazing things that palliative care is good at. We absolutely need that, but we're on the outer, and we should be, and that's where we should stay.